that. Love from the
Hit
tears.
it, brother, hit it.
Love that. And I love what Chief Phil just exhorted, which is that the last 500 years has not been punishment, but preparation and preparedness. I think that's incredibly profound. And to those humans, angelic humans, meek of heart, sufficiently meek of heart, to hear great resounding truths like this should touch you as deeply as it touches me. So the last 500 years were not punishment, not but preparation and preparedness for this great shift of ages, this great coming. There is no victim. There was no victim ever of anything ever. Each one of us steered our souls in these incarnations in a perfectly anointed and perfectly appointed time, so to speak. And that is the greatest wisdom issues from that knowing. Love from the tears of the dragon, which in a sense to me invites us to turn inward and to face that dragon, to face the shade, the shadow, the unresolved, the checkerboard of the kingdom of the devil, which plays out in each of our lives, in the geometry of the atoms and the cells in our bodies. Those of us who are ill, sick, with cancers, with metastasizing cells, with diabetes, with endemic migraines, with glaucoma, with asthma, whatever the condition is, it's all systemic and it's all connected again to that. And as each of us do that inner work and turn our focus toward the immanent, we participate in a self-fulfilling prophecy of redemption, absolution, healing. And that's what this great shift of ages, Dr. Ling will continue now at my invitation to explain a little bit more about the hyperdimensional physics of what's taking place on the 8th of April. Let's use that dateline 0 to not, and this is the thing, I speak here to the audience, and it's a very considerable audience. On that day, please, by the grace of the living God, do not make the mistake or the folly of placing your attention outwardly to this eclipse event, this other Babylonian nonsensical party notion that we should all get very excited and or fearful. It is neither a matter for excitement, nor is it a matter for fear. Looking outwardly into the dielectric universe and placing importance and attention on the totems, the symbols, the signs out there is not the highest truth. When we are putting on those glasses and looking up at the corona and having parties and, God forbid, with alcohol and microdosing, whatever we're microdosing, this is not where we ought to be placing attention on this fateful moment. The 4 minutes, 28.1 seconds of the totality of that eclipse where we will be and elsewhere in the Americas, I urge friends, fellows of the human family, use that sacred moment when the sun is cut off, totemistically, hyperdimensionally, and in physicality. It is cutting an umbilical to the outer sun because we are being invited in that sacred moment, that sacrament, which comes once every few thousand years. We're being invited in that sacrament to be able to turn our attention to the inner sun, to the central sun, because the resurrection of the eternal mother, the awakening of Gaia, the divine feminine, however you want to look at this and speak to it, the awakening of the immanent flame, the resurrection of the human angelic template, the coming of the kingdom of heaven on earth, the anchoring of patterns of perfection into this mortal realm. All of that comes into the alchemy of where you and I, at the collective level, place our attention during this holy of holy sacraments. I hope I've expressed the importance of us placing collective ideation, plasma, photonic intelligence into the immanent, the internal flame, and not the Babylonian external one. This is our opportunity to receive the benediction of revelation and to touch with the atom seed in the womb of the eternal mother, and thereby invoke and bid her into resurrection, the thing we've all been screaming about, for fuck's sake. All of us, millions of us, we want our sovereignty. We want reclamation of our health and our sovereignty and our autonomy and our indigenous rights and our human rights and our natural born rights. This is what it's all about. The call to action is not to lobby the Catholic Church or lobby the corrupt government or lobby UNESCO or the World Trade Organization or any of these other deviant patriarchal edifices of wickedness. The call to action is you and me in a perfect moment, and where we place our attention and do the bidding of the Aboriginal peoples, the wisdom keepers, the flame keepers of this world, who have always maintained the atom seed of wisdom, which is dream wisely. This is our moment to dream wisely and to begin to turn the wheel in the other direction. That is the importance of this Dateline Zero. Dr. Alex, please extrapolate if you wish.
Yes, there are a few aspects about this solar eclipse which are quite important. First of all, it is a new moon as well, and also we are in a solar maximum. So all these kind of elements are coming together. So what will happen in the totality is that the free electrons will space out, and the free electrons are used also by Wi-Fi, GPS, all these kind of artificial matrices which surrounding us. So in that time of totality, this energy field, their energy field, this artificial matrix will almost be reduced to a very, very small minimum, about 10%. Now, within this time, we will have the extraordinary possibility to go through a window by connecting to all of humanity, or we all can connect in this moment and go as a nation, as a humanity, to reconnect with the grid of the earth. And that is what is the extraordinary thing about it. So the earth grid, the energy which surrounds this planet, which is Gaia, which is Mother Earth, that is a field we need to connect to. And in that moment, when the totality is going to occur, 4 minutes 28 seconds, 0.1, this is a window of opportunity to connect to it. And this is when the whole humanity can connect to each other again on this incredible conscious level. So, and that's the difference. These kind of events don't always happen. This is a special event. It doesn't happen very often. The last one was just about 7,000 years ago. The next one was about 14,000 years ago. So incredibly important that everybody takes this quite seriously, because on the opposition, of course, they are very much aware that this is going to happen, and they always have been quite aware of these kind of solar events. So, for example, there's something in place for thousands of years, which is called the substitute king, and I'll just kind of try to appeal to people so that they know what the reality of things is about when it comes to our controllers. So the substitute king is a text which has been written quite a number of years ago, about 800 BC, for example. They're older texts which go back 14,000 years, and it had to do with the kings, the controllers, which would be fearful that on such event of the solar eclipse, we as humans can connect them to Mother Earth and to each other. They were very much aware of this. So they would put a substitute king in place and queen, so basically replacement. And then they would hide, and very often they would hide for 100 days before or after the event, sometimes shorter, sometimes longer. And the reason for that is that they were very worried that they would be overruled by the people. So to preserve their lineage, they would go into hiding and then come back when the solar event was over. Also, what is important is that this specific solar eclipse, the electrons, the frequencies are emanating around the planet for quite some time. So exactly about 40 days. Some say it could be a little bit longer. So this is our opportunity to constantly refresh this kind of energy we have to Mother Earth, and continuously work and manifest where we want to be in the soon future. So let's do this all together, because that's really, really important. This specific window we can use to manifest our positive thoughts and where we want to be in the future. So that's the point of it.
Very good. Thank you. So I'd like to just invite some